with United Way in Citrus County. And this month, March, is Women's Month. So we are going to be highlighting several outstanding women from our community throughout the month. So stay tuned to our Facebook page. And today we have none other, the one and only Ardath Prendergast from the Chamber of Commerce. She has a very long title. There it is up on the screen. I am not going to read it to you. So, Ardath, thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you so much. I am very, very honored to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you.
Thank you.
So we've been chatting a little bit over the last week just about what it means to you to be a woman who was influential in your life. So can you share with us who you've nailed down to be the most influential woman?
You know, you shared that question with me earlier, and there's so many women today that have been influential. But when I really stopped to think about it, the one that's most influential has been my mother. Mm-hmm. You know, my mother, she always told me, made sure I knew she was a child of the Depression. And that was drilled into us over and over. That made her become very resilient. And she certainly learned how to definitely pinch a penny. When she was a child growing up, she had to take care of her younger brother. Her mother was working full-time, a widowed mother, as a nurse. And so she was pretty much responsible for the family. She grew up in Brooklyn, New York, learned really how to stretch a nickel as far as she possibly could. So when we were kids, growing up in a small town in Michigan, excuse me, most of the moms were at home with the kids, not my mom. She knew that she had something more to contribute. So she started working when we were at a very young age, and gotten very involved in the community. She knew she had something to contribute. She always wanted to be an independent woman. These are things that I learned from her, not because she told me what to do, but more she showed me by her own actions. And from a young age, I saw her be involved in the community, whether it was League of Women Voters. She was a Girl Scout leader, which was very interesting because she wasn't that type of material, but she did it. Community theater, you name it, she was always interested in staying engaged. I know the United Way does the financial literacy course. My mother, when she divorced, she basically left with nothing. So she taught herself to invest and how to become financially independent. She did quite well for herself. And that allowed her to do a lot of travel all over the world in later years, something I was happy to be able to join her with. So it was things like that. She always told me, well, I'm just a secretary. And that's kind of a standing joke that Tom and I have had. You know, I started with the chamber as just a secretary. But no matter what she did, she had influence in her positions. She rose to being the executive assistant for the Attorney General of Michigan, with the Virginia State Crime Commission, with the Detroit Prosecutor's Office. So she always taught me to be educated, engaged, and involved and true to my beliefs no matter what I do.
Wow. She sounds remarkable.
She was.
I'm sure she's very proud of you.
I hope she was.
I'm sure. I'm sure. So as a woman, Ardath, what's something that you are most proud of?
You know, this is a hard question. And I'm sure most women will think it's a hard question because at least with me, one of the things I tend to do is I question myself and always think about what I did wrong rather than what I did right. So what that has kind of allowed me to do is it reminds me that growth really never stops. I've never been the most popular person in the room, but that's okay. Because what it's allowed me to do is develop observation and perspective on people and what's going on. And I think that has served me well to do that. And if I have to say what I'm most proud of, It's that I've tried to hold my values, whether it's personally or professionally. And if I can do that, that's what really matters.
Mhm. Well, you've definitely had a huge impact in Citrus County. So, what advice would you give to younger women who are wanting to have a similar impact and make a difference?
Well, I'd have to say be yourself and be authentic. Nobody needs a person that is not doing something that they really don't believe in. I believe that it's important. Don't pretend to be something you're not. It's much better be authentic and learn from it. You can make a positive difference, and it doesn't necessarily, it you may feel like what you're doing or who you are is very small in the world, but if you're doing something you believe in, even if it's one small thing, it has a huge ripple effect.
Mhm.
It can have a huge ripple effect and make a huge difference.
I think that's great advice, especially for young women today with social media,
Yes.
always comparing themselves, not wanting to be authentic because
Right.
it's not accepted or, not the in vogue thing. So it's definitely some sage advice.
Yeah.
All right. And then, Ardath, what impact do you hope that your work will have long term in the community?
Well, I don't feel like I need to be the one out front taking credit for things. I've always been happy to be the one that's been a little bit behind the scenes, the one that can help move things along. Let's come up with ideas, solutions, let's make them happen.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's what I can do, being behind the scenes, that's what's important
Mm-hmm.
to me. So there you have it.
Yes. Well, you definitely make a difference, and everybody knows you. And you said you're not the most popular person in the room, but I don't know about that. I don't think I know anybody that doesn't love Ardath. So,
Well, thank you.
Yes.
I mean, I feel so honored, and I will say I feel so honored to be in this community. I've never felt in any community I've lived in, and I've lived in a few in my many years, that we have had a place where there's such acceptance, such involvement with people. If anyone says you can't get involved in what's going on here, they just haven't looked.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so easy because we've got wonderful people here. So thank you.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting us honor you during Women's Month.
Thank you.